everyone, welcome back to my channel and to my first sit down video of 2019. So to kick off the year, I thought it might be nice to do a chatty video and just talk about some of my goals and intentions for 2019, as well as some of the things that I learned in 2018. I've actually really enjoyed the start of this year. It's been really nice to spend some time at home in Vancouver, just kind of like reset, get back into my routine in terms of like work and fitness. For the last sort of 6 weeks of 2018, I was traveling a lot. I was here, there and everywhere. I spent about 3 weeks in England over Christmas, which was amazing. It was so nice to see my family and my friends. But by the time January 1st rolled around, I was very much ready just to like get back on track and get back into things. As much as I love traveling and exploring and doing new things, I also actually really enjoy routine and having structure. So I quite like having both. And I've also been spending a lot of time kind of just reflecting over the last year and thinking about some of the things that I learned in 2018. I think as important as goal setting is, it's also equally as important to reflect back and think about some of the mistakes you made, some of the lessons that you learned, so that you can kind of carry those through into the new year and just keep on improving and not make those mistakes again, and just being the best version of you. And so I thought it might be nice to put this video together and share some of my goals for this year. Maybe you guys are going to have very similar goals, and also share what I learned with the hope that it might inspire you, or you might find it insightful or useful in one way or another. So I guess let's get into it. I'm going to start off with talking about some of the lessons that I learned, and then I'll go on to my goals. Okay, so lesson number one was how important it is to embrace the lows and the highs in life. So for me, 2018 was a really amazing year. Lots of great milestones, lots of really great experiences. I loved last year, but for me it was kind of my year of learning. Ultimately, life is not like this. It is like this. It is a massive roller coaster, and you go through good periods and inevitably you go through bad periods. And for me, although 2018 was an amazing year, so many great milestones and experiences, and I loved it, there were kind of two periods when I felt really off my game. I felt a little bit lost, I felt down, I just really didn't feel myself. The first time was in May, the second time was in October. And one thing that I learned during these periods was that I'm very hard on myself, and I didn't know that anyway, but I think what I've realized is when I'm feeling that way, I have to just be a bit softer on myself, and rather than resisting those low periods, rather than just trying to carry on with my routine, trying to fight through it, take a step back and think about what do I need in that time. And what I realized was that when I go through these kind of low periods, I really go into my shell. I become very introverted. I don't like seeing people or going to social events, and that's actually the worst thing for me, because I'm a very social person. And the best thing for me when I'm feeling that way is to be with people and to be with my friends and to talk to my friends and just be around really supportive and inspiring people, because that always kind of lifts me up and helps me get out of this kind of funk. I also think it's important during those times to just think, you know, for my body, what do I need? Do I need to be eating a bit healthier? Do I need to maybe start meditating? Do I need to start getting a bit more sleep? You know, do I need to maybe change up my fitness routine so I feel a bit more inspired in that way? The only way that you'll truly appreciate the highs and the highlights in life is if you also appreciate those low periods, because inevitably, whenever you go through a shit time in life, because it happens, and it happens to everyone, and it happens multiple times in your life, you're always going to learn something from it. So I think it's important to remember that those low periods, they are designed to challenge you and test you and challenge your resilience and really just teach you a lesson. And you might realize it at the time, you might realize it 2 years later, 3 years later, but I always think that every single experience, whether it's bad or good, will ultimately teach you something in one way or another. So yeah, that's kind of lesson number one, that we need to embrace both the lows and the highs in life. It's something that every single person experiences. You are not alone. I know for me, whenever I write blog posts or captions, if I'm not feeling my best and I share that with everyone, people are always very supportive and very sympathetic, because I guarantee I'm not the only one going through that. And that's what I realized this year, was that I'm really not alone, and it's okay not to feel your best all the time. You just kind of got to give yourself and give your body what you need. So my second lesson of last year was that you shouldn't not do something out of fear of failure. And something happened in 2018. I felt like I lost a bit of courage in a sense. I turned down a couple of opportunities at a couple of times because I didn't really feel like I was good enough, and I didn't really feel like I could do a very good job, and that's really not me. Like I'm one of those people, if I find a new challenge, if there's something that I want to do, I will do everything I can to apply myself and make it happen and do a really good job. And so for me to kind of be thinking that way and to be not doing stuff because I was scared that I wouldn't succeed, or I would be scared of what people would think, that's really, really not me. And I have no idea where that came from, but it happened. And one of the key things was with YouTube. I didn't really create a lot of videos in 2018. My content game on YouTube was not the best, and I wasn't putting content out there because I was scared. I thought people wouldn't really like my content. I thought it wouldn't really be good enough. I thought it wouldn't be the standard that I wanted, and ultimately I just didn't do it. And actually all that did was hinder my success, because I feel like if I had continued uploading consistently as I was before, if I had continued making videos, even if they weren't to the standard that I wanted, if I had continued putting that content out there, I probably would have a lot more subscribers, a lot of a bigger channel than what I do now, just because I just stopped doing it out of this kind of imaginary fear. No one has ever, I don't think, ever said to me, your content is bad, you know, you're not doing a very good job. No one's ever said that to me, so I don't know why I thought that way. But yeah, so that was another lesson that I learned, was that you shouldn't not do things because you're scared of failing. If you fail, then that's fine, because as I said in my last point, you are going to learn from everything. You learn from failure. You probably learn more from failure than you do from success. And inevitably, when you don't do something, you're only hurting yourself. That is something that I kind of managed to shake off in about kind of August, September time. I had a very stern word with myself, especially with YouTube, and I was just like, Leash, what the hell are you doing? Like, why do you suddenly care what everybody thinks? Why are you suddenly scared of judgment or a failure or whatever? Because that's just really, really not me. And so yeah, I'm happy to kind of shake in that mindset. I now just think, you know what, doing it is better than not doing it, and I just feel a lot more confident with getting my stuff out there. But yeah, that was another lesson I learned last year. So my third lesson that I learned is kind of more from a business standpoint, and that is how important it is to protect yourself and protect your business and protect your brand. So as you might know, I am a full-time content creator. This is my full-time job. I've been doing this for about 4 years, and I've been full-time for about a year. And while I love it, and there's a lot of creative stuff involved with what I do, there's also a lot of business stuff involved, and I've actually really enjoyed learning more about the ins and outs in terms of business, in terms of negotiations and contracts and things like that. One thing that I realized this year is that unfortunately not everybody has your best interests at heart, and I think especially in the creator industry there aren't really a lot of rules and guidelines out there, and it is kind of like the Wild West. People are just kind of making it up as they go along, both creators and brands. And while for the most part it's all very good, there are some people who will take advantage and maybe don't have your best interests at heart. And I learned that the hard way last year. There are a few times where I learned some very important lessons, and it's been good in the long run because it's taught me a lot, but it has just made me realize how important it is to protect yourself. And you can protect yourself with contracts. That's something I've been really, really strict on from the very beginning. I studied law at university. I know how important contracts are, and a lot of creators, they don't have contracts, and what that means is if that client refuses to pay you, if they want to kind of just go against your agreement or whatever, if you don't have a contract in place, you don't have anything to fall back on. So it's really important to have that. It's also important to follow your gut. If something feels off, if something doesn't sit well with you, then you've got to address that. And also you've just got to do what is best for you and your business. It's okay to say no. It's very, very okay to say no, even though sometimes you might not want to. You just got to do what is best for you and your business. Another lesson that I learned in 2018 was that we are more capable than we think. If we put our minds to something, our minds are amazing, our minds are very, very brilliant. If we put our minds to something, then we can achieve anything. My dad has this phrase, and it is, believe and you will achieve. And I actually used to have it stuck in my wardrobe at home in England. I used to have it stuck in my wardrobe and I used to see it all the time, and it's absolutely true. If you believe that you can do something, then you will go and achieve it. And I think it's important just to keep reminding yourself of that, because we will have challenges in life and opportunities will present themselves, and you've just got to go for it. You've got to believe in yourself and you've just got to go for it, and that is very, very important. So now on to some of my goals for 2019. We actually had a really great start to the year because we officially activated our permanent residency visa for Canada, which is amazing. So yeah, we're officially permanent residents. Can't believe it, can't believe that we did it and it actually happened. We actually got approved about 6 months ago, but because we were traveling a lot in the last half of the year, we couldn't officially activate it, because once you activate it, you basically can't travel for a couple of months. You've got to send off for like the PR card. When we came back after Christmas, we came back from England and we officially activated it, and it's all done, and now we are just waiting for our card. So yeah, it was a very, very productive start to the year. But now that we have PR and we just have a little bit more certainty, and we know that we can be here basically now for however long we want, we can start to make proper plans. Because, you know, as much as I have loved the last 4 years, I think in retrospect we have been living kind of a little bit temporarily, just in the sense of like, well, we haven't really been able to make proper plans in terms of like, you know, moving house, thinking more about getting married. We kind of had that blocker because, especially for the last year, we were living in limbo because we weren't sure whether we'd get the PR or not. We weren't sure whether we'd have to go back to England and set up a life back in England, and there was just kind of a little bit of uncertainty. But now we've got PR, we can start making proper plans, and the first one is moving house. So yeah, this is something that we really, really want to happen this year. We've been in our current place for about 3 years now. If you follow my channel, if you follow me from the beginning, I think this might be the only house that's featured in my channel. Actually, there was actually like a temporary house that we were in when this place flooded. But yeah, this is the blue house, and this is probably featured in most of my videos, and I love it, and it's beautiful, and it's in a really nice area, and it's really nicely decorated and everything. There's nothing wrong with the apartment. The only thing is we just want a little bit more space. And now that we've got PR and we're going to be here for a bit longer, one thing that I would really love is to have a space where our friends and family can come and stay with us. Because I know that they want to, and they keep saying it all the time, but the issue is it's just so expensive, especially when people come in the summertime. I remember when we first got here in that first year, we had so many visitors. Like, my mum and dad came a few times, Matt's family came, my brothers came, my friends came. Like, we had so many visitors, and over time that's kind of like just reduced quite a lot, and now we just go back home. So it would be really nice to have a place where they can come and stay with us. I'd also love to have a little office space that I can call my own. It would just be really nice to have a space that's mine. I can put stuff on the walls and I can make it really cute and make it my own, and just have like an allocated working area, because at the minute it's kind of just wherever I want around the house. So yeah, that would be really nice. So we're not in any rush to move just yet, but hopefully it will happen kind of within the next 4 to 6 months. And then once we move house, another priority is getting a house that's dog friendly, because at some point we really want to get a dog. And you probably know this by now, because I have probably said every single year that I want to get a dog that year, and it's never happened. It's never really been able to happen. We've been in this place for a while and this isn't dog friendly, so that's kind of stopped us. But yeah, if we get a place that is dog friendly, then it will be more possible. So yeah, it's very, very exciting. That is kind of goal number 1, is to move house. Goal number 2 is for me to be more conscious, and I mean that in kind of lots of different ways. So obviously being more eco-conscious, that is something that's really, really important to me. I kind of consider myself to be pretty conscious anyway. I'm very educated when it comes to like being eco-friendly, especially with like plastic pollution, but there is more that I can do. One thing I want to do is try and reduce consumption as well. Recycle obviously, but just kind of reduce in general how much I'm consuming, kind of steer away more from single-use plastics, just kind of make an extra effort to like take my canteen out to more places, take my reusable cup whenever I go to Starbucks, and just kind of small changes like that. I also want to start composting. My friend Mitra, when she found out I didn't compost, she was like, oh my god, you don't compost? What? How do you not compost? Like, she was pretty disappointed in me. and so yeah, I was reading up on it, and you can just use like a plastic, or not plastic, a paper bag, put it in the freezer. That stops it from smelling, that stops the flies from getting to it, and I was like, that's actually a really good idea. So that is something that I want to be. I want to be more conscious this year, kind of just environmentally. I also want to be more conscious of my content, and the reason is that you hear a lot about people having kind of a very negative relationship with social media, and that when they read things and they see things on social media, it kind of makes them feel bad about themselves, and that is not something I would ever want people to feel when they read or watch or see my content. I want my content to be as positive and uplifting and inspiring and useful as possible. I want my content to have purpose, and I feel like it does, but I want that more. And so yeah, I want to kind of focus on creating more valuable content that people will really find useful and get information from, because that's kind of like the reason why I started my blog in the first place, was that I wanted to inspire people, but I also wanted to inform and help people and give people the information that they were looking for. So yeah, I want to be more conscious with my content. I also want to be more conscious with my time. I get a lot done throughout the day. I'm very proactive, but I think some things, they just take me longer than they should do, and a lot of the time that's just because I want them to be perfect. I want them to be perfectly done, and that is something that I just kind of need to work on, because I might spend 30 minutes extra on a blog post, editing the format and everything, and those changes might only be things that I'm going to notice, and you guys might not even notice those. So I need to recognize when it's something that I'm spending time on that's maybe not the most productive use of my time, and just kind of be more conscious of my time and just kind of use it more smartly and more wisely. Another thing that I want to be doing this year is creating more content. I create a lot anyway, but I specifically want to focus more on YouTube and uploading more videos and vlogs and star videos and travel videos and that kind of thing, and just kind of doing more. And similarly with blog posts, just uploading more stuff that you guys want to see. In terms of travel goals, there are lots of places that I want to hit this year. I'm not going to reel them all off because they're probably going to change. Matt and I were kind of planning out where we want to go, just kind of key places that we want to go this year. And I go everywhere. There are so many places that I want to go. Obviously you've got to be quite picky, but one place that we do really want to visit is the Yukon and Alaska, so we might try and do a big road trip at the end of summertime. And I want to see more places in Canada. I want to move kind of east and check out like Toronto, check out the east coast of Canada. There are a lot of places around there that I haven't been to. It is quite far away, it's quite expensive to get there, but I would love to see more parts of Canada and also explore more of the States, because like California, it's actually really close to Vancouver. It's just a couple of hours away. So I want to explore more places that are around Vancouver within kind of a couple of hours, as well as a few places that are further away. And another goal that I have for 2019 is that I want to get better at taking time off. I'm a little bit of a workaholic, and I'm actually really bad at doing nothing. I kind of have this need to constantly feel like I'm doing something productive. So when I have a day set aside and I'm like, I'm not going to do anything today, often I just end up crawling the walls because I feel like I need to be doing something productive. This Christmas time, when I was back in England, I did work obviously when I was back, but I really just prioritized spending time with friends, spending time with family, just having a bit of a break. And I'm so glad I did, because it was the most amazing trip back. It was so nice, and I need to get better at just taking time off and not feeling guilty for having time off and not working, because one day off a week, I don't even give myself that sometimes, even having that one day off a week or 2 days off a week, that's not going to kill you. And it's so important to just have that time off and those days where you just don't open your laptop and you don't look at emails and don't do any work. So yeah, that's one of my goals for this year, is to just get better at just taking time out for myself and not feeling guilty for doing that, because I think looking after yourself is so important. So those are some of my goals for 2019. I do have quite a few other kind of very specific goals in terms of like finances and business and stuff, but I'm not going to bore you with those. I wanted to keep this video quite short and concise. However, I feel like it is going to be quite a long one. I have waffled on for quite some time, so if you've made it this far, then thank you for watching this much of the video. I'd love to know what your goals are for 2019. Let me know in the comments box, and I really hope that you found this video useful and insightful in one way or another. If you want to see more of my videos, because as I mentioned, that is one of my goals for this year, to create more content on YouTube, then please do hit the red subscribe button. I would love to see you back here, and now I have said it. I put it out to the world that I'm going to be creating more on YouTube, so I kind of have to do it now, don't I? Thank you for watching. I hope you've all had an amazing start to the year, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!